Told you this guy's a genius.
Self-proclaimed, maybe.
Well, as long as it works for him.
Exactly my point.
Awesome.
Escape the age.
Okay, well, rendering takes some time. It's the second attempt. I'm just going to take you along. I'm just going to do what I'm doing anyway. I just had to change the way. Because you kind of get to... It kind of starts to piss you off. That you always have your hands full with something. I'm just going to use Terence McKenna so I can shut up.
Therefore, the first thing we have to do is describe where we want to go. And I see psychedelics as such a stimulation to creativity that this is how they make the change. You know, people say that the 60s had no consequence. The whole world we're living.
Okay, now I just want to tell you how I do this. Now I have the starting point of the Terence McKenna thing. And while I'm busy here working, then I can go back to the file, take the place that is being played, and like put it over the sound file of the movie clip. And then I can put like distortion effects, echoes, reverb. I want to, it's a distraction. The camera is such a distraction. When I'm recording, I immediately want to engage, right? I immediately want to talk. When there's someone in my life, right, I immediately want to engage with them. And that's so strange. And nobody can really manage to deal with it. To deal with it. Like, I'm always too much for them. And I'm starting to ask myself whether this is ever going to change. And now I'm starting to experience the weirdness of being a creator. shit. Sometimes doing these things is really hard. But if there's nobody to help you with it. So you just have to get used to this. So that when you're in a situation where you have to film something, oh crap, you think you fixed it? You see, while I'm doing this, I'm constantly receiving instructions, information. So you hear me often say things like, oh, eat. Or I suddenly start laughing. And that's what people aren't used to. You know, they probably think it's really weird. You know, it's like, you're weird. Who says that? Oh yeah, it was here. You see, this is what DIY is. Right? This is like a light thing. I like changing. Yeah, so I don't know how much alone time I really need. But it is strange to wear such a harness, and I think it could be improved. It's a challenge to live without tobacco, and it's a challenge to live without sugar. And listening to Terence McKenna can only get me thus far, and so is listening to me. But I think what I can guarantee you is that what you get from me is basically this kind of truth that, you know, you may face yourself in a situation where you're staring in another man's toilet and you're asking yourself, who's actually talking? I mean, are you talking to yourself? Or are you watching me talk to myself? Or am I actually talking to you? And I'm not sure how my neighbors feel about my presence, right? I'm very insecure, especially with women, because everybody's so on edge. And I have experienced what it means to get in the way of angry women, you know, and I learned to stay away from them. But if somebody would really, in a respectful way, try to engage with me, get to know me, and then just spend nice time together, you know, I'm not advertising this, you know, I'm not really out for the taking, because you will never reach me, right? So I know how to escape. And I think at this stage it's fair to say that I probably wait just for one woman to show me, you know, how it's done. But they all fail to see that it can be beneficial to just be a little bit less stuck up on yourself and be like super righteous, you know, and to just admit that, you know, you contributed as well to the situation as it is at the moment. And that's why it's really hard to to run after anyone. If you know that both of you contributed to this situation. Yeah, you've seen this is tea, right? So, I mean, it's already weird that I'm showing this openly. But now ask yourself, how weird would it be to get someone else to live in this? I mean, I think it would better be that I keep this to myself. And if I want to spend time with someone else, right, because it's like very specific. You see, if a woman would come in here now and she would want to live here and bring a child, then this place would change. And I'm not sure if I can accept this because I feel good in this. But at the same time, it could be beneficial if a woman would live here that really likes me and that doesn't mind also cleaning up a little after me, because I think that's what, a woman for me would have to know how to do. I make a mess and the woman cleans it up. And I know there are women who love doing this. And, I can clean up also, but I'm also really good at making a mess. And maybe both of us should be allowed to make a mess, but also clean it up again. Right? It's like you have to acknowledge that you contributed to this mess. I know who used this, so it's okay to use it again. If this would be shared, I would probably wash it, but I don't want to annoy my neighbors too much. I already pissed off some people. Right, I already pissed off some people just by telling them the hard truth. It's like, I have this elderly woman that's living with me. I mean, she's not living with me, she's just in the same house, right? We have each our own apartment. And she's kind of looking for reasons to injure herself, I think, so that people will start to take care of her. Because she's just sitting alone, so it seems like, I think, the only time she leaves the house to go to the doctor. And now she really injured herself. I have to laugh about these things because it's self-inflicted. It's absolutely self-inflicted. I mean, she is doing this because she thinks she has the right to be acknowledged in her existence. And then she thinks people ought to miss her. But nobody has time to miss her. Right? Because, I mean, are you supposed to be my grandma now? And that's basically what I told her. I said, nobody's gonna give a shit. Because I've tried, and literally, I mean, people are, it's just what you have to be kind of rough these days. There are too many people, I cannot take care of you, because I can't even take care of myself. I mean, I have to take care of myself also. And you have to take care of yourself. So I'm not gonna come and make soup when you kind of broke your jaw because you fell. Or maybe you got beat up, I don't know. How can you fall like this? I mean, it just looks like you did it on purpose. And I'm sure you did, because you crave attention. And then you get attention. But to get the attention, you basically fucked yourself. And that's just my honest opinion then. I mean, in nature, which animal would injure themselves on purpose? I mean, if an animal would feel lonely, it would just walk around, look for other animals. Right? So I'm looking for somebody who can match this. Yeah, so if a woman would be interested, she'd probably also have to be interested in doing yoga together. And the women that I met did not want to do any of this. They just wanted to lay around. They just wanted to have sex to have a child. They just wanted to have sex to have a child, that's it. So they can sit around and their man can sit around. I want a woman that wants to engage with me. That uses, sex as a tool to have a conversation. To be directly connected to someone else, and that's then probably what Tantra is. I am actually strengthening my teeth. Yeah, I've actually started eating meat again. And it's good, I think. So at the moment I just use what I have. But I certainly I just eat everything because I want to get to a place where I don't have anything anymore. And I'm not sure whether that's going to mean that I'm just going to fast for a week or I'm just going to rely on people giving me food. Right? Because I just don't know how to deal with this kind of shit. If you give me money, I'm just gonna spend it. But nobody gives me enough. Everybody just gives me a little. But that's not gonna, that's not gonna satisfy me. And of course, that's why they're doing it. Yeah, I just started relying too much on other people. I ran to my mother for food just a couple of days ago. And now I'm just gonna refuse it. I'm just gonna eat what I have, and I have to look for something. Or maybe it's stupid. I just want to see if I get new ideas about something. Because now I'm actually getting used to being alone and doing content. And I'm figuring out new ways how to do content. So that I don't get bored. And I don't become like, people were trying to manage me. Telling me what to do and how to do it. And tell me to do art. I should focus on art, doing art videos. Have you ever fucking done anything? Have you ever done art in your entire life? Do you know what it takes to do art? If you don't know what it takes to do art, don't fucking tell me to do art. It's one of the hardest things in the entire world to do art. And you just don't get me. It's really hard. Really hard. And what is really hard is also the reality of a disruptive son. Somebody who just puts the foot down and says, let's speed things up a little. But in life, okay, the previous one, it crashed, but now it's still working. Okay, that's promising. Because I do have to work with paranoia. That's something you have to be aware of, because especially when you're smoking cannabis with tobacco, or drink a lot of whiskey probably, because that's all kind of shadow, right? That's just what you have to realize, because that's the message this old woman, I think. I mean, she failed to realize she thinks she has problems. But everybody has problems. Everybody has problems. Right, everybody has problems. So I cannot pull you around because, I mean, you're alone. You're in the best position to help yourself, right? You're in the absolutely best position to help yourself. And that's what I had to learn. Nobody could help me. Nobody. The help I received was the place my parents could give me. And then later the apartment they could afford. And then the question is, should I feel bad for that? Right, should I feel bad for that? And then the answer is probably definitely not. You know, now I'm opening up to the potential I actually have. You know, I haven't really shown anyone what I can do for a while now. Oh, wow. Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people actually like it, that I'm a little bit loud. You know, maybe it's nice. Because maybe if they like you just a little bit. Oh, I love the smell of food, eh? You know, I'm not the cleanliest person you see, or maybe it was the tobacco that actually made me dirty. You know, I'm saying this with a laugh and a smile because I do have to admit I like it. I like tobacco. But I'm not sure if it's really a healthy choice. I mean, I've tried tobacco in all kinds of forms. You know, like this kind of snuff. I mean, I don't mean rapé, I mean this stuff that you get in these boxes. I mean, I do like rapé to clean people, but it's the shaman's responsibility to give rapé. But if I want to give it to people, they won't allow me. So there are a lot of people where I think you should be cleansed, but they're actually clinging. So I can't really do an awful lot, right? You know, I cannot really do an awful lot. Okay, now we have to be more silent again. It's very complicated because I have such a different lifestyle. But I don't do this, you know, I remember this is not dirty. This is just water because of my living situation. That I choose to have, you know. Nobody's forcing me to live like this. Nobody is forcing me to live like this. I choose to live like this because it makes my life more exciting. But I also have to, I had to I'm always hoping for kind of a savior that can help me out in this situation. But if I'm honest, then I don't want to run around for food anymore. I mean, this is how I cook. If people give me the time and the space to cook. But nobody, if I ask people, they never want to eat what I have to give. And they never want to learn from me. But I have really a lot of experience in a lot of things. It's such a pain in the ass to get people to listen. And that's why I create content, because Jesus, man, people are so dumb. People are so dumb. Oh shit, I forgot. This is amazing. You see, this is really working. This is really working. And now imagine you're alone in here. Right. And there's nobody to judge you. And it's just quiet. And you actually enjoy the quietude. Right? It's not a threat anymore. This is where you get to. This is where you get to. When you learn how to chill. Right. By yourself. I just had to introduce this pan to the kitchen. Right, and it's part, right, these tattoos are part of my magic. So when I make magic in the kitchen, I have to be exactly the way I am. And I cannot. Right, and so the problem I have at the moment that I'm creating content that will only be released in the future. And the reason this complicates things a little for me is that, I don't know. I actually want to be somewhere else, right? I would like to cook with people. But nobody wants me around because they think I'm rude. Maybe I keep them away. It doesn't really matter. It's just like all this whiny bullshit. Why do we always have to talk like this? Why can't, I'm gonna put this in because it's gonna roast it. I'm not sure if this is a smart idea. Right? I like this kind of a burnt flavor. And no, I do not have real garlic at the moment. This is coriander. I've cooked with Indians and with people that knew Indian cuisine. A couple of cloves. So I'm not a stranger to testing out different things, but I haven't exactly, now my thing here is falling apart, so I have to find new ways. Okay, I think that's better. Wow. Something just happened. Like something just popped out of my chest, or someone popped out of my chest. What is that even supposed to mean? Okay. I mean, that's just my life, right? And I mean, everybody's like this anyway. You have no idea how many people I meet that just stand around doing nothing, or having all these weird intentions, where they, this is just that woman again, where she lets herself fall just to show people, if you don't take care of me, it's gonna end bad. Yeah, but for who? She's alone in her apartment again. Better luck next time, Maybe you're gonna basically almost kill yourself because you think others ought to take care of you. But that's the lesson. If you don't fight, nobody's gonna fight for you. They're gonna put you in a nursing home and feed you, food with a spoon if they have to. They just keep you alive. But you're not gonna do anything then. So if that's, where you're off to, good luck. Just be prepared. I said these things to people. I told them straight into their face. So the idea is, I'm trying to do this already for a long time. Maybe I should get a new knife. But I actually like using things, because I don't have a problem with this. Right. So I haven't cooked like this because nobody ever taught me to cook like this. Everybody was like in a rush. I've seen few people that actually cook like this. I mean, I've seen a lot of women cook. Actually, not so many. And a lot of them are really insecure. Like, most women are really like little insecure girls that just kind of pretend like they cannot do it. And now, for instance, my eyes start watering and my eyes start to clean themselves. So cooking is actually something that is A, a meditative practice, and B, that if you work with onions, right, if you work with chilies, if you work with ginger, and you cut these things, you're actually purifying already while preparing the food. I just want to make sure that I have enough time. Right. Yeah, I'm starting to use chilies. More often. And also I'm going to go for higher spices. I'm going to increase my tolerance for spices. I have already exceeded most people. The people that used to like spicy stopped. I never liked spicy, and then I started to value spices to the degree that other people said I was spicing things too much. And that's the problem when you use powdered spices, is what I've basically realized now. Because if you use powdered spices, I'm not sure. Some people say that onions and garlic store energy, so you should cover them. These things certainly tend to happen. Like, food tends to go bad if there's a lot of intense energies. So the kitchen also has to be designed actually in the right way, so that I would probably use, instead of plastic containers, also for bread, I would probably use these kind of, I would probably use more fat now. But, it just depends on what you like. Oils are probably better than fat, and that you can also add later. And such a pan is actually good for charring food, but I don't want to be too smart about it. Actually, cast iron is much better. It doesn't really matter. I mean, not for now anyway. It's just also about heat maintenance. I mean, this pan doesn't maintain all the heat. You see, this can work, right? This can absolutely work. Now, I have never lived like this. You have to understand. I have never had the freedom to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, because there were always people interfering with my way of life. I was supposed to do this or that, and then, only, and then you just start to say, well, people could really command me to see them because I was, I had weird connections with them, like I would give love in return for food. And then I betrayed myself because I allowed people to kind of, use me. I'm just going to be honest about this. I don't have anything else anymore. It puts me in this really annoying position, right, where I'm not sure if I am either going to fast now and just basically go on a strike with myself and just say, hey, I'm gonna eat when people start giving me money. Because I'm sick of, I just want to buy my own weed. You get what I mean? I just want to buy my own things. I don't want to walk around and ask people for money anymore. And so maybe I have to start cooking. But then who would let me cook like this? Maybe I should just cook to maintain myself. That's the kind of questions I have to deal with. Do I want to be a cook for others? Do I want to be a cook for others? strange to live like this. Because there's no basis for it. There's no basis. Who's Jeff Bezos, by the way? You know, there are things I just know nothing about. I also have a weird relationship with phones and such things. You know, also people, they sometimes send me something, and when I then ask them questions, they just say nothing back. It just pisses me off, you know, I don't understand it. I think they just want to see. And then, you know, you check for views and then it says 1 view. And the next time, you know, last time it said 4 views. And then you have 135 and then suddenly you have 100 and, you know what, nothing. And then you think, yeah, and now what am I supposed to do? I mean, is everything okay? I mean, is it good? You know, I'm just gonna shut up now.
The way you change society is by changing its language. We can't evolve into something we can't describe. Therefore, the first thing we have to do is describe where we want to go. And I see psychedelics as such a stimulation to creativity that this is how they make the change. You know, people say that the 60s had no consequence. The whole world we're living in is defined by the issues of the 60s. The whole New Age is essentially a flight from psychedelics, but an effort to nevertheless maintain the lessons and the insights of psychedelics. So I think that the critical 10% of society that does the planning, the inventing, the implementing, and the designing is the sector of society that is being impacted by psychedelics and that can make change. The domain in which these changes should take place is the domain of art. We need to change the world into art. So much of the design process is haphazard. Like, you know, we look at this hotel. It was designed by an architect. It's a coherent whole, but it's embedded in the island of Maui, which is not a coherent whole. There is no plan for the island of Maui. It's just, you know, weasels buy land and put up hotels, and then the government builds sewers and provides electricity. But there is no master plan above a certain level. We need planning at every level. We need to express aesthetic intent at every level. Cities cannot be haphazard arrangements of contractors, projects, dreams. The entire city, the entire planet needs to be brought in.
So while I'm standing here cooking this, and I listen to this, and I let myself go into thoughts, I realize that I'm not sure if I should make this food for myself, or if I should share it with others. You know, that's really weird. Because the question is really, how far am I supposed to be selfish? I think at the time I have to really feed myself. Because if I would bring someone in here, I would destroy the whole vibe. And I think what I'm doing at the moment is preparing myself for all sorts of things. But sometimes I first let it bake. You know, now I put in spices, it's already dry, it's starting to stick at the bottom. You know, this is... Okay, sometimes I'm a bit... Sometimes I'm a bit strong with people, just to keep them away and busy working with themselves. You know, this is how I can smoke the spices, char them a little. I haven't actually cooked like this ever. This is the first time. So I work with psychedelics to get me to such experiences, so I have to become inventive. If the food I'm eating pisses me off, and I have to find other things to eat. I had this idea about doing pasta with tomatoes normally, or you can put in beans. But I think beans is actually also nice. But I have eaten a lot of beans already. You see, you know, this is maybe weird. I have no idea. I'm still not sure who I'm dreaming with. There is a woman out there and I'm dreaming the same dream as her. But I don't know who this woman is. This is the weirdest sensation. Like I am having a dream with someone. It's like it's in that movie. Now I'm starting to understand why I've been masturbating so much. I don't know, it's like there's somebody else in here. I'm not sure who this is. I think I allowed a lot of people to get really close to me, and I'm just trying to shut them out a little. This is really nice. I do like salt, to be honest. Okay, now I'm starting to get a little bit obsessed with food. So I first had to sort out all of the food that I had so that I can make sure that I only have food available occasionally. Maybe that's what it's about. It's about being open about what you like. Wow, completely different. Sometimes it's good to go and come back, because I always leave something behind. Okay, this tamarind. But this is also a way to spice food. It could be disgusting to someone, but I like to spice up my food. I wanted a bit of acidity. Now this is also tamarind. It's really acidic. I don't know, some people claim that it cleanses your pineal gland, which is the stuff that produces DMT in your body and basically opens the third eye. You could say it feeds the third eye. And I've been trying to cleanse myself with psychedelics, but the truth is, the best way is actually through the way you live and the way you eat. But yeah, okay. You know, I don't know why, You know, I'm just trying to get rid of all the food that I had. And I also need food to relax. Now I can try. I always try food. Okay, these were red lentil pasta. And this basically makes this food ketogenic. Ketogenic. Yeah, it makes it ketogenic. And because I'm a greedy bastard, you know, I never really wait until I can eat. And I also like, actually like, it cleanses your throat. It's really good. And that's what you need. Why is that? Somebody says, oh please. Who is saying that? Who was saying that? Ah, now I understand. I was once with someone, and she was with someone else when I came back. And she had slept with someone else while I was gone, and that's when I completely lost interest. Okay, I've had enough. Cheers.